Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Demi and I'm back with another video. How y'all man doing? Welcome back to the channel. And I hope you have a good and blessed day here on the Demi channel. Alright, in today's video we're talking about Fred VanVleet and if he's truly peaking right now as a point guard. And the word I mean peaking is he's kind of seizing as a point guard and becoming irrelevant to this team. Fred VanVleet, is he peaking? I would say no, but I would say yes at the same time. The reason why I would say this because Fred VanVleet got many injuries throughout the season and he played very well throughout the game of the season towards the All-Star break, and the All-Star break he kind of lost his footing as he had many injuries, like that hip injury in the playoffs. Like, honestly, he had many injuries towards the playoffs that can kind of didn't make him healthy this season. So honestly, I think Fred VanVleet for his time, I wouldn't say he's peaking as a point guard right now, but honestly, I would call Fred VanVleet the next Isiah Thomas, and the reason why I call him this is because the amount of injury he suffered in the last 2 years, like with the hip flexor injury, the knee injury, like so many injuries set at his face, he's just becoming the next Isiah Thomas. And honestly, I think Nick Nurse is starting to drain him out now because honestly, for Nick Nurse, he's playing over for 30 to 40 minutes a night, and he can't be leading the NBA minutes, as I know he loves using Fred VanVleet a lot, but you gotta consume his energy. He basically how Fred VanVleet is, if you play him too much, you get too tired, and then when fatigue happens, it leads to injury. And then when injuries happen, it means he can't play anymore. As for Isiah Thomas, we saw it the hard way. The reason why I say that is because, like when Isiah Thomas had that hip flexor injury and he kept getting it, he wasn't really the same person. And honestly, Isiah Thomas, even in the Eastern Conference Finals, the guy was balling out in the Cavs, and then he had to sit out due to that injury. And then again, he wasn't the same player after all, and all his money went to vanish. So I hope it doesn't happen for Fred VanVleet because he's a really good player. Fred VanVleet, for a 6'1" guy, is a very great player. He can shoot the 3 ball, he can play defense, he can deflect the ball, he can do anything you ask him to. Like, Fred VanVleet, he's the leader of this team that the Raptors need, and I think the Raptors are going to hold him long term. They gotta find a backup point guard. The reason why I say they have to find a backup point guard because Fred VanVleet, he's almost close to 30 years of age, and honestly, if Nick Nurse keeps draining his knees, honestly, he might be done, bro. He might go back to freaking undrafted stage because Fred VanVleet, he cannot be playing 30 to 40 minutes a night. I know he's a starter and he's the team's second or third best option, but please, Nick Nurse, you can't be using this guy and draining him out on the court. I know he's like an efficient scorer and you have no guard depth, but for the Raptors, I'm a side jury. I'm trading for guard depth immediately. I don't care if it's Jordan Clarkson. I don't care if it's Derrick Rose. I don't care if it's, you can say, if it's, what's another good role player? Patrick Beverley. I don't care who we get, bro. As long as we get a backup point guard help VanVleet's dribbling ability, it'll help this team out a lot. Like, come on, bro. Like, you can't be, I know you want to run Scotty and Pascal backup point guard, but they're already in the starting lineup. Get somebody new who you can use and you can emphasize in the lineup to help him out in the long run. Like, for example, like a player that I mentioned, Patrick Beverley. Another player I mentioned, Jordan Clarkson. Another player I mentioned, even Derrick Rose. These guys for veteran leadership, they would help out a lot and help Fred's production make it much easier for him as a role player and as a player to make him useful in the long term. And when Fred VanVleet gets injured, he'll say he's good and then he still plays like crap. But I think with Fred VanVleet, if he's 100%, we'll know by the end of the season. If Fred VanVleet does not play to the level of his caliber, I'm sorry, he's getting traded. I don't know where he'll get traded to, but Fred VanVleet, he gotta work his tail off for summer and we have a breakout season because Fred VanVleet cannot be having a marathon run from the beginning of the season until an All-Star break, and then after the All-Star break, he shrinks into a ghost. And for Fred VanVleet, he has to have consistent growth as a player, and I know many players make mistakes, they can't be perfect, and many players point guard turn the ball. That's okay. I think Fred VanVleet, he just gotta bring it each and every night, and he just gotta be himself. There's definitely more the Raptors gotta do. They just gotta use them collectively and rest them properly. That's all they have to do. And Fred VanVleet, if he's healthy, he'll be the most effective point guard even when he was in the NBA Finals when he had a birth of that child. He'll go crazy for you. He'll get you a good 10, 20, 30, even 40 points per game. Like, honestly, Fred VanVleet, he can do that. But if he's injured and he's going down to the older years in the NBA, he'll run out of gas. And when he runs out of gas, he will not be productionable. Like, for example, like I already said, he might be the next Isiah Thomas. I don't want him to be that because Fred VanVleet is a very good player. He's a first-time All-Star. He has great potential. And he's just growing the player and the leader. And over time, I think that'll help him out a lot. As Fred VanVleet, he has great potential for himself and the mind of the individual. As he has kids now, he has a team he can rely on, and he has a coach who can rely on Nick Nurse that nobody likes to play. So honestly, I think Fred VanVleet, I wouldn't really emphasize the question if he's peaking for the thumbnail, but honestly, I think for Fred VanVleet, he still needs time and room to grow as a player and as an individual, and he needs to use his rest to his advantage, and that's pretty much it. So honestly, that's all I gotta say on Fred VanVleet is he's peaking, and that's pretty much it. It's your boy Demi, and I'm signing out. Have a great enough day, y'all. Peace.